Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is a Truth Tuesday, so Satoshi Sean will be joining us. Make sure you hit the like button here. You go over to his channel, hit the like button there. He does some crypto giveaways, so make sure you comment on both and jump in the live chat because we have some great folks in there that are always sharing great information as well. So we'll be right back with Satoshi Sean right after this. All right, we are live. Everybody is gearing up for 4th of July weekend coming up. We are kicking off July 1st. There's all kinds of things happening. I believe the Basel III kicked off today. I saw some things about people having trouble shipping precious metals or delivering. I think it's a shipping issue with precious metals. I'm going to try to get a hold of Andy Scheckman and do an interview with him to discuss that and get the details if he has any more information about that. And then one of the most interesting things to me, and of course the news was spinning it, was this, where is that article? It said the Department of Defense to end satellite data programs used for storm forecasts. And when I went into this article, it said starting Monday, which was yesterday, of course, so the end of June. And okay, I'm sorry. Now it says it would be delayed 1 month until July. So this just changed on Monday. So there's been an update since yesterday on this article. Interesting. So on Monday, they said it would be changed until July 31st. So in this article, they said that they were closing down the microwave. See, this is no later than June 30th, but then they changed it and now it'll be delayed by a month. Interesting. Okay. So this is the Department of Defense is postponing it, and they're reducing science programs. There are some strange quotes in this. So one unidentified NOAA scientist told The Guardian the changes amount to a systemic destruction of science. And we were always told to trust the science. For now, Pentagon, for 40 years, the Pentagon has operated.
Which you should always trust the science, but do not trust the scientists.
There you go. For years, the Pentagon has operated satellites for atmospheric and oceanic conditions. Who else is in the ocean? Sean, we were just talking about that. There are 3 now. Satellites gather multiple wavelengths of light, including visible infrared microwave. Kim Wood, an atmospheric scientist at the University of Arizona, told Scientific American. Then they talk about microwaves are used to monitor hurricanes because the microwaves are so long, they get through the tops of the clouds and help scientists to understand storms' inner workings, especially those that occur at night. Then they talk about the U.S. Navy, Numerical Meteorology and Oceanography Center process raw data. Talking about satellites used to collect data in ice, sea, polar regions. Okay, it is not an issue of funding cuts. The director of National Snow and Ice Data Center says there are cyber security concerns. That is what we're being told. So with the data, hurricane experts can see where the center of a storm forms, hence figure out the direction of where it could be headed, including land. So the fact that the Department of Defense is shutting down these microwaves that can see at night and in the water, and because of cybersecurity concerns, I think is very interesting.
It is.
I've got one more thing that was, I thought, interesting that kind of goes with this, or a couple things.
I wonder.
Yes.
How old are the satellites?
Oh, I don't know.
Because what if they're just old and now they can be more easily accessed by current technology and hardware?
I don't think
And
so. Because
if you've got a microwave that you can shoot at clouds in space, maybe that's how you were controlling things before.
well,
Now anyone could. So that's scary to people that have the control.
I don't know, because one of these this researcher says we're a bit blind now. A hurricane researcher says.
Yeah, it seems really weird they would just kind of out of left field do this.
And the fact that the Department of Defense is stepping in and saying for cybersecurity reasons that they're shutting this down at the same time that Trump media begins beta testing global TV streaming, Newsmax to go global alongside Truth Plus rollout. It's quite interesting to me. Maybe the two have nothing to do with each other.
Also, they're what I've seen a lot of news about is the Trump colognes are coming out.
The colognes?
Yeah,
Really?
that is what I've seen like 4 posts about.
Really?
Haven't seen anything about this, but
No, all I've seen is so this was over the weekend that I saw all this about the weather thing. And I was like, okay, no one's talking about this. Why are they not talking about it?
yeah,
And then, of course, there's this sandstorm coming in from the Sahara Desert that's supposed to be like as large as 48 states or something. And it's supposed to come in through the Gulf of America, over all of Texas and Oklahoma. Now it just switched back and is saying March again. This is not what I had pulled up. July. Let me see if it'll go back again. Okay. So a potentially historic wind event is expected from eastern Mexico through Oklahoma. Wind gust of 80 miles an hour. Let me see if I can get the picture to come up where they're trying to. That was from the last one. No, it's not showing. It's not letting me pull up what I was trying to pull up. Okay, maybe this is it. No, that's 11 months ago. No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not getting it. Dusty Inferno. It's showing like an old.
what's the? Can you look up what that is? The NOAA.
That's NOAA. That's NOAA. That's what we were talking about before. Okay. The satellites that are being shut down.
So those, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's well, this one. Share this tab. This one, NOAA, that we talked about earlier.
What is the change in code staff?
National Oceanic Atmosphere Administration.
Okay. Department of Defense received a request from NASA. So, okay, so this is what I was confused on. I thought that the Department of Defense are the ones that ran the satellites.
Oh, no.
But no, it's so it is under the oceanic thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I know that there's another, agency that does that. But okay, so that's okay. I'm on the same page now.
Yeah. It's really interesting that they would make this change. And it says this service change and termination will be permanent. So due to recent service changes, the Defense Meteorological, oh my gosh, I can't say that word, satellite program
And the
The
Navy
Navy
fleet.
Fleet, that word, and Oceanography Center will discontinue ingest, processing, and distribution of all DMSP data no later than June 30th. But then now they're saying it'll delay to July 31st. So very strange.
So
So it's like it's being passed over to the military.
it's well, that's what I'm.
Right?
So who owns the satellites? Because obviously the Navy and the Department of Defense are the ones that are ingesting and processing and distributing the data, but they're not. They don't own the satellites. So they're. I wonder if it's going to go to like a private company or go through NASA then.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's very. It's a lot of questions. Nothing's really super clear.
Because this statement is what really got me was the systemic destruction of science. Because I think we're going to have this, in some of Cliff High's data, we're going into this new age of, with all these patents coming out and the inventions and all this kind of stuff. And, with the 0 point technology being released and all this kind of stuff. So is that part of this? I just have a lot more questions than answers, but
Yeah, me too. This article,
I think there's a there. I was just really excited about this article. And it does seem like it has, it does seem like it's being handed over to the military, like out of NOAA and whoever and NASA to the military. And that now the military will be handling all of that.
Well, it seems like the military was already handling it.
No,
they're going to not handle it anymore, it says.
No. So it says, NOAA originally said in a note, due to recent service changes, this program, DMSP,
Right.
Navy Fleet, whatever, will
discontinue.
No, you're right. Discontinue.
Processes. So they're the ones who are, but that's what I say. Did they own the satellites, or did they just do the processing and put it out? And it's so the satellites are still there. So is someone else just going to do the processing and distribution? It doesn't say, you know what I mean?
It doesn't say.
Yeah.
About the change, but on Monday they said it will be delayed by a month. Well, I just thought the timing was wild because I thought, well, if they're having it happen today or yesterday, and then today starts Basel I, and we're anticipating all this drama with banks and all this, then I'm hearing how they can't ship precious metals from Canada. And then I'm hearing about this big sandstorm.
You want to hear something else?
A lot of people, if you watch this channel, you know that the sandstorm, Andy's been talking about Operation Sandman and how that was going to be about, breaking the bonds and all that. So anyway.
Let me tell you about this.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So it's the end of the month. I live on crypto. So I take Bitcoin and I send it to or other crypto, sell it, turn it into Bitcoin. Then I send it over to Cash App, and then I send it to my, sell it and send it to my account. So I send some Bitcoin over to Cash App, and I get an alert: your Bitcoin deposit was received. Oh, your Bitcoin deposit needs to be rerouted. It's blocked.
Oh.
So first off, I was like, you can't block anything on the blockchain. So it's sent. You know what I mean? And then it said to give them a different address to reroute it to because they're not going to let it go into my account. So I did that, and I was like, okay, that's weird. So I tried to send it, again, and it blocked it, or like the next day, and then it said it's blocked. I talked to someone, and they're like, "Oh, it violated their terms of service." I'm like, "How?" I'm sending it from one wallet that I always send it to like every month.
Right.
It's like it's the same thing, and they're like, "It's like YouTube." Like, well, we don't know. I don't know.
They don't give you an answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll send it to our Bitcoin team. They'll go back with you within a day or so by email. And I'm like, so is it lifted? Because at first they're like, oh, it's just from time to time we have to do spot security checks on accounts. And I was like, okay, so it's fine now. I can send it. And they're like, no, didn't say that. I'm like, so what was the thing? So yeah, I couldn't send Bitcoin. It's blocked, still blocked, and they haven't got back with me.
But if it didn't send, then it should still be in your wallet because it wouldn't have confirmed if it didn't send,
No,
right?
that's the thing. See, it's not your keys, not your crypto. So when you have Cash App, you go give your Bitcoin address, different address every time you go to make a deposit. So I sent it, so they got it.
So they do have it.
No, not anymore. So they get it, and then they're like, "No, we're not gonna this is blocked. Give us a different address." So they get it, and then you have to give them a different address, and they send it to the other address. So they just don't allow you access to it. Then you give them a different address, and they send it to the other address. But I'm like, it's not. I said if it's sent to this wallet address, it goes to this wallet address. So it's not, obviously it's not my wallet address. Then if I don't have access to it, but it goes to their, they have the Bitcoin, and they put that amount give you access to it, and then you sell it, or you have it sit there. They're like, you could, hodl it there. It's another thing about not your keys, not your crypto, but it is like that's like the main way I put crypto into my bank account is Cash App. I still have crypto.com, but it really shows how we need more off ramps or other ways to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can use PayPal with it, because I've used that for so long, like years. So that happened to me last week.
Okay.
My Bitcoin is still on Cash App. I contacted them. They told me to send it to another wallet. Yeah. And they won't let me know why. They did literally say this deposit violated the terms of service. And I was like, whoa, that's a big statement, man.
Yeah, that's like an accusation. So
I don't know.
Were you ever able to send it out to another wallet?
Yeah, 3 times. Because then I did another one like the next day, thinking maybe it was just like a, automated. Nope. So until they get back with me by email, hey, Glenn, post some good trades on Telegram. I just got out of a trade, which was a short, and I took a nap, and it was good. Bitcoin went down like $2,000 in an hour. It was crazy.
Wow, things are really crazy right now, for sure.
But I'm not the only one. I mean, not nice to know. It's actually a little worrying, but
things are crazy. Trump has been visiting. I guess he was supposed to go down and visit the alligator Alcatraz. Did you see him doing the interview telling people how they were going to teach them how to run from alligators?
No, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about the
Florida
Alcatraz.
It was bad. It was bad. He's like, yeah, we're going to tell them to run like this so that you get an extra couple minutes on them or something like that. It was pretty funny. But they did say that Ron DeSantis was being interviewed, and he was saying that they're going to have, they are going to, I can't remember if he said deputize or how, I can't remember what word they said. No, not the alligators. But they were going to, I can't remember what word he used. I'm sorry, but I guess I could find the clip. But they were going to use the National Guard and have them be judges and have them be so that people that are brought in could be be processed more quickly and then deported immediately if they weren't there truthfully seeking asylum or whatever. And so people wouldn't be there, there for an extended period of time. He's like, we could get them in and out within a day or two, send them back to their country or wherever they need to be. And so that was pretty interesting. But it's pretty big place.
I was trying to find it. That didn't save it, but it was like an AI video, and it was just a bunch of like Florida rednecks riding out in these giant alligators.
Alligators, yeah. My husband sent me
that was
one of them.
pretty funny.
The AI is crazy lately. It's everywhere. I also saw an interview with Dana Carvey and who's the guy that looks just like him?
David Spade.
David Spade.
Yeah, they got a podcast together.
And they were being interviewed and they were talking about playing Biden as a character.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. And I'm like, oh, yeah. There's at least two of the Bidens that we saw.
Even Biden played Biden as a character.
But he didn't know it.
Have you seen the videos of like the robots just like walking around, and then they put them side by side with Biden walking, and they're like identical. It's really funny.
Like the Tesla robots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a cowboy robot walking around Austin. Just walking
really?
around everywhere. Yeah.
Well, Uncle Cliff just shared a robot, and in China, they were playing soccer, and it did not go so well. And I was like, oh, I thought they were supposed to be so highly advanced of us. But I want to see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. It's so bad. It's like, let's see. I mean, they're not doing so good. Like they spend more time getting picked up off the field than like.
That's still insane that they're little kids looking, but
they're just like falling over all over each other. They do look like.
They look like.
If you've ever been to a child soccer game,
that's I was thinking. That's like amazingly great for like 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds.
Yeah, that's
good goal, and he kicked the ball.
Except somebody's off looking at like a caterpillar.
It's that. On soccer, so there's a big loudmouth that was here in the U.S., but in Sweden or Switzerland, there's this big loudmouth chick, female soccer player. She's like, this is terrible, because she's dating another footballer, soccer player, and he makes $100,000 more than she does. And she's like, we do the same work, we do the same thing, we should get equal pay. So they had the Swedish national team played a junior high team or high school team of boys, and they beat the shit out of them 7-0 or 7-1. And they didn't allow it to get out. Like, people posted it that were there. That's how it got out into the news. But they like sat on it and didn't let it get out. And it's like this, it's a big, huge thing, which it's, ridiculous that sports, it's because it's like kids, literally. And, now with WNBA, Caitlin Clark, I hate the WNBA so much because of what they did to that poor woman, but she's like the coolest thing. She's, the Michael Jordan of the WNBA. She's, far and away so much better than, like, the whole reason to watch, I think, is her. But they want, equal pay, but they don't make the same amount of money.
Right. I mean, I think you brought up this point before, and the reality is it's an entertainment industry, and if you don't sell the tickets, then you don't create the income, then you don't, garner the wages. Like, That's what it is.
That's
You
just
know,
it's just economics.
just math.
You know, we talked about what's his name, who plays for the WNBA last week. How they like, oh my
Brittany
god,
Griner, that
yeah,
boy.
it's actually a guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she, I don't know if you know this, but put out a release like a couple of weeks ago about how the WNBA used to be great, but now that Caitlin Clark is now all the fans for her, it's so hard to play because there's all these people in the seats and they're yelling, and she can't concentrate. It's not a conducive to playing basketball with all the people that are coming now and being loud. And all the sportscasters are like, "Are you serious?" It's like those are called fans. That's how that's how you know it's working, you know? And she was like, "No, this is terrible. We've got to stop this. We don't want all these people here making noise and, buying tickets and merchandise and whatnot." It just, the level of idiocy is unbelievable.
But that's how, like, just at what level of ridiculousness are people in the story? I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not watching that stuff. So I don't know. It's not for me. That's not my timeline.
Well, not a lot of people are watching it if Caitlin Clark's not in it. She got hurt and tickets dropped like 87%
Mm.
for like the 2 games she was going to be out. So everybody, no one likes to admit that that's the reason people are watching, but that's the whole reason I watch. It's literally, I would rather watch like my nephews and nieces game than I don't want to watch someone I don't know's nephew and niece's game. There's nothing awesome that's going to happen. It's just you want to be supportive of your
family.
So, but if you watch like super professional athletes that are like going to do shit you can't do, or most people can't do, that's something that's interesting, and have them pitted against other people that can do like crazy stuff, but not like regular people.
I'm just really concerned that they're going to come out because isn't that the one that you said is dating Barron or whatever?
No,
like, she's that Caitlin one or whatever.
No, I don't think so.
Dating Barron or something, because like I'm pretty sure that's the one. Like, she looks kind of masculine.
Well, she's an athlete, so they all do.
And she's a basketball player. Maybe it's just that she's very athletic. I don't know. Yes, we need to stop idolizing people, period. Tom says we need to stop idolizing sports people. How about just stop idolizing people, period? That would be good.
Barron Trump and Caitlin Clark rumors have everyone asking the same thing. MSNBC.
Is she a dude?
I don't think she's a dude, but she is that athlete, Despite challenges having Secret Service, Barron Trump is rumored to be dating.
Gonna be
Sources suggesting that his girlfriend.
I don't know.
That he has a girlfriend he spent time with while attending NYU, despite challenges having secret personal change. Only thing I see is MSNBC. MSNBC's the only one that says anything.
Maybe it's old news.
Melania says he has a really nice girlfriend. That was something from a different thing.
That's nice.
But that's it. No, she's going to NYU, so it's not Caitlin Clark.
Oh, must be a different person.
Yeah, but there is one article that has a MSNBC that has like, they're not together. It's like 2 side-by-side pictures.
Interesting. Oh, I do have some really great, super, super exciting information. Super, super exciting. This came out on LinkedIn, on the Army's LinkedIn page. So it's called An Organ on a Chip. And they have done, okay, there's 2 different articles. I don't know if this is the one where I got the article from, the article within the article, or if this is the first one. But this is, oh wait, I'm not showing you guys the right one. So, my son needs a heart transplant within the next time as he starts continuing to decline. We've always known this was going to be, part of his journey or whatever. But so they have started doing all this research, and it's understanding toxicity without use of animals. So yeah, this is the more detailed one. Okay, so they did some stuff recently, and then this one's the deeper article. So it says these are researchers and companies out there whose main function is to create a full physiological system with multiple target organs, including lungs, liver, kidney, and heart, all connected and working together to test the toxicity of certain compounds. The other approach is to become more sophisticated with individual organs, and that's what we are funded to do. So this is all through DTRA, Defense Advanced Research Projects, and DARPA. Well, that's not good. But anyway, the leading edge.
It's just so scary to think, oh, my organs are from DARPA. That's
yeah, that's not a good thing. But it's through the Army, and they have mastered the liver. So that's the starting point for our models, it says.
I was thinking that would be the hardest one. I was going to say
Really?
the liver would be the hardest one. Yeah.
So it's really interesting. I sent this to our cardiologist, and I sent him there was another article that led me to this article. So I sent him both of those because they have already done some testing. And so these this microfluid chip contains multi-liver cell types and can replicate specific functions like the bile duct function, venous blood flow, whatever this word is, inflammation, and hepatic fibrosis. So they were creating these chips that have human-like structures, and then they can replace those organs. So anyway, it would prevent you from having to go on it's my understanding, it would prevent you from having to go on anti-rejection meds, which is what ended up causing Mia to have to get cancer, and so from her anti-rejection meds. And so it's just kind of exciting hearing that there could be a possibility of something like that, an alternative, So this was very exciting to me. Or an organ as a chip.
That's weird. And it all ties into the neural network thing that Elon's doing, and it is so fast, so fast.
So I shared this article in the Telegram group if you want to read the full article, and I shared the other article as well. So the link is in the description of my video if you want to join the Telegram group. It's free, and I always share lots of information there too. So kind of exciting stuff. I was super excited reading about that. And I did ask Uncle Cliff about, I have a friend that I tweet with. Well, I have several friends that I tweet with, but he was talking about big part of the ending of this story that he believes that we're coming into. A lot of people believe we're coming into, and of course, Cliff ties data. We're anticipating some really high emotional markers starting tomorrow on the 2nd. Maybe even tonight, but definitely going into tomorrow. I think it was 13 times the 9/11 kind of emotional markers. So Everybody hold on to your hats and grab your closest conspiracy theory friend. But this friend of mine believes that it will be visitors from outer space kind of tied things, which I kind of wondered when they're saying like, oh, well, we're going to take away the satellites, and the stuff looking at the ocean. And so he said visitors from outer space. And he was talking about it even being in the ocean was what this, or under the water.
Do you know about the big thing under the water that they're tracking 2 miles wide?
No, hold on a sec, though. That makes a lot of sense. So I said, interesting thought, Cliff. What do you think? And then he, right after that, he said, alien scum under the ocean. It's not me. And this guy starts talking about, yes, they have, let's see if it says.
Are you there?
Yeah.
I can't hear it. But
I cannot hear it. Okay. He's saying like, yeah, there's aliens under the nanotechnology, under the water, and hold on. I'm sorry. I thought you guys.
I sent you a link. It's the second one on the
Okay.
private chat. The first one's about something I want to talk to you about after that. But
oh, these guys, you love these guys.
yeah, they are cool.
They are cool. Hold on, let me get it to.
That's the name of their podcast, Sunday Cool.
Can you hear it?
Nope.
It's because it's in the same browser or whatever, so it won't.
Copy and paste it to another one.
Okay, hold on. What a pain in the butt.
I'm sorry to hurt your butt.
Hold on. All the extra clicking. Oh no, then I have to like log in. Oh no, is it gonna work? Hold on, I think it is gonna work.
I mean, how is there not one submarine on mission?
Yeah,
let's find out what this is. It could be anything.
Okay. Pause. Okay, now I gotta go back here. I gotta turn this off. Stop. Now I gotta go find you again. Remove. Stop. Present. Share the other one. Okay. Now I gotta go back over there. Okay. Ready?
It could be potentially a weapon.
Facility. It reminds me of the sailing stones, rocks in the desert that just move. Man, and leave trails. I thought
why did we not figure that
first?
Like, let's put a camera on it.
I don't know.
What are we doing?
It's crazy. We have rocks that are just moving.
Have you heard about those
No,
things?
I haven't.
They're literally in the desert, and you see it's a big rock, and then you'll see just a path behind it.
What the heck?
The sailing stones of Racetrack Playa in Death Valley National
That's
Park are
just
rocks that move
magnetic.
across the desert floor, leaving long trails behind. The rocks, which can weigh up to 700 pounds, have been observed and studied since the early 1900s. In 2004, researchers discovered that a rare combination of wind, water, and ice causes the movement. That's crazy.
There is a 2 mile wide in the ocean, and it's leaving a track behind it.
How do we not know what it is? I mean, how?
Okay, that doesn't seem that crazy though. So if there's stones,
The 2 mile dome. No, the 2 mile dome is the thing here. You stopped
Okay.
it when they're talking about.
but couldn't it be a stone and have like metallic properties, and then we are having all this pole shifting stuff going on and stuff. Like, couldn't that be a thing?
No, because over half the scientific community says there's no pole shifting. So,
I don't believe that. Yeah,
yeah,
they had to like redraw airplane runways and stuff.
yeah, there's like stuff's been
So
yeah, but that's
community
universal
is wrong.
expansion. That's why you got to trust a science and not a scientist.
yeah,
But
Lord.
yeah, they're talking about why don't they just send a a submarine to go look at it. They're like, nobody know. They only look at it through satellites. It's like you could just go look at it.
Well, then how do you trust the satellite then?
But they won't. That's their whole point. It's like you can see that there's this giant dome thing 2 miles across that's just moving through the ocean, leaving a trail. Why don't they just send a submarine to go look and see what it is?
Maybe they can't get the same result if in person.
Or maybe they don't want you to see what it is. Or maybe they know what it is. And they don't want to get close to it.
That's true too. Yeah. I don't know. All the maybes. All the maybes.
So I sent you a link up there. Just the first one.
Okay.
And I thought it was kind of interesting with, precious metals and everything.
Oh, I love this stuff.
Do you know the Constitution does not allow or give authority to the government in any way to make money, produce money, anything with a what's the word I'm looking for? Currency.
Coin money.
It can coin money, which means it takes precious metals from the people and can turn that and mint that into a physical coinage.
What eagles are.
So that the Constitution, what is it? The Constitution annotated, prohibits states from coining money. Supreme Court has recognized the Congress's coinage power to be exclusive. So we don't have the every phase of, they turn into phase of currency, and they may charter banks and endow them with the right to issue circulating notes. All that was like not constitutional. Constitution says that they can coin money. It was made very, very specific.
And regulate the value thereof.
Now, if you know this, do you know what the first coin in the United States said on it?
I do not.
I said, "Mind your business."
Oh, stop it.
It did. Let me see. I got it. I got it here. Where it is? Here we go. First slogan on a U.S. coin wasn't "In God We Trust," but "Mind your business." Benjamin Franklin issued it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, it was 13 rings interlinked, I guess, from the 13 colonies. And it said, "We are one."
Where? Show me.
I'll link it to here in the private chat. There we go. You look at that.
Okay, hold on. Let me share with everybody. Is that true?
Yeah. America's first coin came with life advice. The first official U.S. coin is minted in 1787 and known as the Fugio cent. Carried the phrase "Mind your business" on its face. Designed by Benjamin Franklin, this motto wasn't a snarky remark. It was a literal call to focus on one's affairs. The coin also featured a sundial and the Latin word "fugio," meaning "I flee," symbolizing the fleeting nature of time and the importance of diligence. On the reverse, 13 linked rings encircling the words "We are one," representing unity among the original colonies.
What was it made of?
It looks copper as crap. It looks like an old penny.
Like an Oreo cookie.
It looks cast where they pounded it. Man, I wonder how much one of those is worth.
Huh. We are one. Interesting.
It's real. The Fujio cent. I'm looking at
Fujio cent.
it was the original penny. How much is it worth?
Are you looking it up?
Yeah. $3,500.
Wow.
1787 Fujio cents. That's cool. I would pay $3,500 to have that, and you can get it for as little as $1,700. $1,700 to $3,500. So that's worth it.
That's wild.
The first official 1 cent piece of the United States currency, consisting of a third of an ounce of copper. Its design was inspired by the works of Benjamin Franklin. While available in lower grades, rare examples in excellent grades are highly sought after. But I thought that was that's one of those things like I talk about Obama's birth certificate. It's like, okay, he was never eligible to be president. Or Biden, he was never really president. So, but still, all the stuff stands. You know, any treaties or laws or whatever, it's all fine. You can argue stuff was an auto pens, but you can't really do that. That's why nothing will happen. Because if you say this pardon is no good because of this, then you've got to look at everything. You got to open the can of worms, and they don't want to open it because that, everything is then you can throw out.
Kind of like pulling the thread. Where does it end? Kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's just like, let that thread be there, or else the whole tapestry falls apart. And then that's why if you can do it and get away with it for a while, then it's over. It's one of the things that's so frustrating. At least if people were, punished for it. You know?
Yeah.
Like everyone that said, no, the birth certificate's real. Oh, if you, find out, put them in jail, charge them. There's this dude he has a channel, Don Shipley. And he's a former Navy SEAL, but he goes around, he busts people for being, stolen valor. Using fake, say they're fake Navy SEALs. And I started watching. That was interesting. And Alex got really upset that I was watching it, which was weird. But I don't understand why that's not illegal. Even a misdemeanor. I don't think people would do it. People pretend to be a soldier to get a free Arby's sandwich.
That's disgusting.
And he only goes after people that are SEALs. And it's they put that on their LinkedIn. They use that to, try to get real stuff, or they actually have a GoFundMe or something like that, and they put it in there. But that's not really that much of a fraud. It's not, they don't do it. It's not a crime, even if it was an expensive ticket.
It's fraud, though. Yeah. I mean, it is a crime.
But is makeup a crime? Is wearing a wig a crime and not telling someone? I mean, there's, it's one of those things. It's just like an embellishment is what I think how a lawyer would talk about it.
It's a designation. I mean, it's a career. It's not. It's
But there's a lot of
training or.
There's a lot of people that are they were in the military for a month and got kicked out, and then they're like, oh, it's a Navy SEAL, and here's my DD-214 that says I was in for a month, but the government does that because it's all secret what I did, and this says you're only in for a year and a half. How can you be? Oh my, this is a big one which I never thought of it, but he said that this is something that most of the liars talk about. Yeah, my CO told me to kill a bunch of women and children, and I wouldn't. I punched him in the face, so they kicked me out. That's why. And then people are like, "Oh, you're such a great man. You threw away your career and you stood up to, the corrupt government, and you wouldn't kill kids and ladies." Um, but it's. I don't understand how the guy has a channel. I don't understand how he puts one of these out a week. It's so prevalent.
That's a lot.
So much. Like every VFW calls him. They're like, "Hey, this guy's in here talking a bunch of crap. Can you look him up?" And he'll like do an investigation, and then they'll tell the guy, "Oh, this guy wants to talk to you," and he thinks he's going to do like an article on him, or going to help him get more benefits or something. And then they'll talk to him. He's like, "Hey, what class did you graduate from?" Hey, they can't answer anything. And then he's just like, "Yeah, you're a lying piece of shit."
That's awful.
But it's not illegal. I just thought it was most people wanted, did it to get a 20% discount or 10% discount or a free sandwich or whatever on Veterans Day.
Like the karma of that. I can't imagine how you would I don't know. That would be terrible. I just think that's terrible. It's like those people that lie about having cancer and, do it to get money from people or whatever.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Mm-hmm.
But that's understandable. I mean, it's a scam. People scam people to make money. That's cops and military were the least child trafficking bonus.
That does bring up a question that I have, though, all the time, because I do have a lot of respect for the military. My family has several. My dad was in the military, my grandfather, my uncle, all of that. And I've been at estate sales and stuff, and I've seen like military clothing, hats, whatever. In fact, I packed up my one. I bought this, like, it was this, I was at this house, and there was this guy, he had all these cool pins and awards and stuff. And I even see people selling them on eBay and whatever. And then I was a little like, is that wrong?
No, that's where these people buy their stuff from. That's like a lot of people like go on eBay, they buy like a dress uniform, and then they go march in the Veterans Day parade, and that's how they like get in.
Well, that's my question, because then I got this one hat, and I thought it was really cool. I have this this guy was a sniper, and he has like his whatever, and it says like whatever sniper military. I can't remember. I think he's a Marine sniper or something. And I thought the hat was really cool, and I bought it, and then I was gonna wear it, and then I was like, wait a minute. Is that wrong for me to wear that? Because I'm not military. Or am I being respectful? Is it okay that I'm like proud?
Yeah, that's I've been questioning that too.
You know what I mean?
Because he's like, I'm looking at this picture of you, and you're wearing a hat with a trident that says SEALs on it. You're not a SEAL, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but I'd wear that hat. My best friend's a SEAL. I'd be like, yeah, go Navy SEAls. I wear a Marines hat or, whatever. Because it's like, go Army. Literally, I've worn them.
Right. Is it being in support of? Is that okay? Because then I've seen other people, like I saw not a skit, but
I think it is. I think it is, unless it says veteran on it or something like, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, and I have some of my dad's hats that say like Vietnam veteran. Clearly, I was not in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not old enough. But
no, you're in Oklahoma.
I thought about wearing it, but then I was like, oh, would somebody look down on me and say like, you can't wear that because you're not a Vietnam veteran?
I remember over in
my dad's
Europe, I was
Korean.
I was a kid. I remember I was a giant, kid. I was like 6 foot tall, and we had this. My mom was throwing this party for the last episode of MASH. So you're supposed to come dressed as a MASH character.
Yeah.
So I wore a friend of mine's just military uniform, and I rode, which I went over to his house after school. I got his dad said he was loan me his uniform, so I put on uniform, and then I get on a bus to go to the party.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a military bus full of all these military people, I'm 12.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's like, dude, why are you wearing fucking uniform? Why are you impersonating a soldier? And I'm like, I'm not impersonating a soldier. Going to a part, but everybody was like really pissed. But I was like in that microcosm of, you know, those people.
And then if you're in a military community, see, that's where it's such a, like Light Shadow says, it's personal interpretation. I guess I wouldn't want to offend
That's
anyone.
why it's not illegal. But if you wear a police uniform, or if you say, hello, I'm a doctor, boom, you're getting hauled off. So I think at a certain level you should, you know, like if you put on your LinkedIn, former SEAL sniper, blah blah blah, that, you know,
right,
that should be at least a misdemeanor ticket. There's got to be something where you're like, hey, I can get, you know, free sandwich and this and that, or I can get fined $1,800. Not worth it. You know, I think that would cut it out.
It's one thing if you're presenting yourself as versus, oh, I'm wearing a hat.
And a lot of it, I think, because this is one thing, Alex is really pissed because he's like, these people are mentally ill and you're watching this for entertainment. It really bothers me. But I think a lot of people are like embellishing stuff like for their resume or whatever. And then they get like so much attention and like, oh, thank you so much for your service and you're wonderful, blah, blah. So that's when it just grows, and it grows to where they're hanging out at the VFW with Foreign Legion and talking about how they snipe 20 dudes in a day and that, you know what I mean? Just to get full of everything. And then if they have a problem, their car breaks down, people want to start a GoFundMe, and then it's this huge thing that's run out of control, like the little white lie that just grows and grows. I think that's a big part of it. But there has to be a line where it's like, no, now you're in trouble. Yeah,
don't do it. I don't know. It's a bad deal. Definitely a bad deal. Well, those were the big things for me. I was really excited about the possibility of the organs in a chip and the Noah thing. I thought those were some big stories.
Yeah, I saw this one. This guy built the world's smallest machine. It's like half the size of a grain of sand.
Did it look like a little spider walking on the edge of a penny?
No, it was just these tiny magnets, and it would spin around. It would spin around the center magnet. So it was very basic, but it was. You had to see it through a microscope to see it. It was that small, and he just did it himself, which I thought was pretty cool. But also, like, I mean, with the organs, just we're at a level of technology that is where, like, you watch old Star Trek, and it's not even up with current stuff, you know.
Wow.
It is a wild time.
It is a wild time. I think we're gonna start seeing all those things come out, all the inventions and all that. So tomorrow's the big day for Cliff's data, the emotional markers to start kicking off. So everybody grab your popcorn.
Have a good 4th of July. Are you doing a Friday show?
Yes. Yeah, we'll do a Friday happy hour.
4th of July happy hour?
4th of July and Bix Weir's birthday happy hour. So
cool.
It'll be a good time. So
I don't know what we're doing. I got hamburgers and hot dogs, so that's about it.
God bless America.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you guys. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking Ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.